Hello and welcome. I'm Parul Sharma, and you're watching Zoom TV. Today, I have with me three talented young actors who will next be seen in the Netflix show Eternally Confused and Eager for Love. Please join me in welcoming Vihaant Samat Ankur Rathee and Dalai. Welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Firstly, really interesting show. I managed to catch a couple of episodes, and it's honestly something that I haven't seen before. And I want to know from all of you. So, the characters in this show, especially Ray, they're all dealing with like insecurities and pretty much second guessing themselves, like to quite an extent, right? Are there any inner insecurities that you all have grappled with, especially in a profession like acting, where most of your life is pretty much on public display?
Are you asking three actors if they're insecure?
Yes, perhaps I am. I want to know the gory details about your insecurities. Actually, get deep into it.
Oh, this is therapy now. This is so great. Therapy on a Wednesday morning.
I'll send you my bill after the session.
Yeah. You just wonder if you're enough as an actor, and like, did I do it right? Did they like me? Am I good at what I do? Why am I unemployed? Why do I have no work? You just wonder all those things. And then once you land a part, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I don't have to worry about those things for now. And then you keep going and you get over it. You basically just have this sense of self-confidence that you learn to get hopefully soon. And then from then on, you're living a pretty chill life. I think when I was younger, I had a couple of insecurities that Ray had. And then I realized it's not fun to live that way. So I've tried to make a change.
You had your inner whiz working out.
Yeah.
I think in terms of self-confidence, what Vihaant said is like, it's definitely a work in progress, but it's like when it's, my self-confidence is like kind of attached to my work a lot. And it's like a constant battle to be like, hey, I'm not what I do, but rather I am who I am. So like Vihaant said, you're sitting there being like, why am I not working? And then you get work and you're like, oh my God, I'm amazing. Everything is fine. So it's like to just disconnect that. So I don't know if that's an insecurity, but it's definitely an issue of
Sure. Ankur, what about you?
Yeah, it's never ending. I have friends that are in various different stratas of their career. And they say, new level, new devil is what they say. तो हर दूसरे मुकाम पर आप पहुंचते हो, वहां पर पहुंचते ही फिर लगता है कि shit यार, अब क्या अब मेरे आसपास के जो सारे कलाकार हैं वो they're just so good, and then you're just like, or maybe they're not good but they're so famous and successful, and you're like, well, I'm not those things.
Sure.
Oh, I really want to be, and then when you get to that next level, and then it's the same thing just starts again. It's a cycle. And so until you don't stop and remind yourself that my value needs to be determined inside out versus outside in, it's a never ending stumble.
Sure.
So I feel like as actors, we're constantly getting our confidence knocked down until we finally find it intrinsically.
Did you say it's more money, more problems? Is that what you were trying to say?
Basically what I'm trying to say, more money, more problems. You know what I mean? You got me. Thank you, Dalai. That's it.
No worries.
So we see Ray doing a lot of like apne pair pe kulhadi maroing, to the point where like it's super frustrating, and as a viewer, like I just wanted to like get into the screen and shake him and be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, knock some sense into him. So have you guys had like any instances where you've done the same thing to yourself? You've kind of apne pair pe kulhadi marod yourself and stood in your own way. I want specific instances.
I was going to say every day. What do you mean?
Yeah.
This is life.
I overthink things constantly. I think that like when you're trying to hide something, let's say, it used to happen a lot more, but now I'm getting better. If you're trying to hide something, you don't want someone to know something. तुम सोचते हो कि मैं कोई दूसरा झूठ बुला के मतलब बोल देता हूँ, right? कोई दूसरा झूठ सोच के I'll just tell them. But then you end up digging yourself deeper in a lie, and then they ask follow-up questions, and then you come up with more and more lies. And then eventually it gets to an awkward place where they know you're lying and you just don't have a choice but just to walk away. And so that has happened to me more times than I'd like to remember.
Are you secretly trying to tell us that you're married now and you haven't told other people and you're like digging yourself into that hole? Is that where we're going with this?
What I'm saying is I announced to everyone I'm getting married, and now I actually have to get married.
Shit.
I just remembered one actually. I don't know if it's necessarily shooting oneself in the foot, but it was a pretty mortifying experience. Actually, it involves Vihaant.
What?
we were in our workshops, and I think I had met Vihaant a grand total of 2 times or 3 times, and he was dropping me home from a workshop. And I'm a deeply, I know Ankur said I was peaceful, but I'm a deeply nervous person when I really want somebody to like me or like create like some sort of rapport between us. Like as actors, we were playing best friends and all that. And basically we were having a conversation, he drops me off, and I don't know what he said or whatever. And I was like, you know what would be a really cool thing to do in this moment? I'm going to blow him a kiss. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really suave. And I stepped out of the car and I blew him a kiss and I crossed the road. And as soon as I crossed the road, I was like, why would I blow a kiss? Who blows a kiss to somebody they've met twice? What on earth? So then I didn't just leave it. No. I texted him and I said, hey, I just wanted you to know that was like a funny joke. And he not even registered it. He not even registered that had been a thing. He had already thought it was like a joke or whatever. But I had to do the thing where I did the thing, and then I followed up and I was like, it's fine, it was fine, it's cool, right? No worries. Yeah, and then I talked about it.
We had done a long drawn out goodbye of like, you take care of yourself, I'll see you soon, like don't be too crazy or whatever. So I was already joking. I think she got into the spirit of joking, and then she went with the whole blow the kiss thing. And I was by that point I was back on my steering wheel. I was figuring out my Google Maps. I didn't register it. But I think she did and still does years later.
Register it. It's a deep regret for her.
Yes.
Yeah, like my hands are shaking right now. Like, why did I tell the story? I'm going to text him after
now
and be like, why did I tell the story?
Right? It's on the internet for everyone.
There we go. Just now, I shot myself in the foot. Here we go, right here.
I've probably shot myself in the foot when I'm at a job interview or something, or when I'm meeting someone and I'm like trying to find out like how we can get hired, and I just say the wrong thing. Like they're like, do you have any experience? I'm like, no. Oh, yeah, maybe kind of. I think so. Like it's things that I should have planned out ahead. I just go on and I'm like, I'm gonna have a great time, have some conversation, and they're like, you have no experience. I'm like, I know, but I'm nice.
Segueing quickly from there, a quick dating game, since this show is all about love and mess ups. I'm going to say some old school dating rules. You guys tell me whether you agree with any of them or how you'd fix them and what you do instead. So men should always make the first move. Thoughts? Do you agree? Do you not?
No.
I disagree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna be like, I disagree purely based on experience.
Purely based on experience?
Yeah, like I just feel like a lot of the time, because of this being such a long-standing rule, like everybody's just like, men have to make the first move, and then they get really stressed out and they get really nervous, and you're just standing there being like, I know you want to make a move, but I'm just gonna do it instead because you seem really stressed out about it.
You're a Bumble kind of person.
Yeah, where the woman makes the first move.
You could say, not by choice.
Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's very sexy when a girl makes the first move. I think it's like, it's very, very sexy to see a woman who knows what she wants and is not afraid to communicate it. Yeah, that's like, obviously within certain means, with also respecting the man's boundaries as well. But like, yeah,
it's jumping
incredible.
On you.
Sure.
Like, I'm gonna go. Consent. I think, yeah, it's like, it's awesome. It's really awesome because when I think about what I want in a partner, I want a woman who's going to be a pillar, who's going to be someone who is not someone maybe in the traditional sense, right? The idea of a woman taking a man's lead, but I'm very, very much of the opinion that I would much rather take my woman's lead more often than not. So yeah, it's awesome when that happens.
Nice to hear. Okay, men should always pay for the date. I don't agree, but
yeah, wage gap. Let's narrow that down. little bit.
Wait, I thought you meant wage gap. So yeah, men should pay because the women aren't getting paid anyway.
Yeah.
That is what he's saying.
That is what he's saying, right? Yeah. Okay. Good.
I mean, we gotta pay our dues, you know.
Yeah, fair. I appreciate that.
I was gonna disagree, but now that you put it like that, I've reoriented my entire perspective. I'm never paying for a date.
Just being
Until
whiz.
I get paid the same as my co-stars. Ankur.
I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I feel like I will always pay that first date. Second date, yeah, maybe we can split it or whatever. We go back and forth, but there's a sense of being a gentleman is you pay for that first date. I'm okay with it. Like Vihaant's saying, it's not the biggest price to pay for the male privilege that we all enjoy.
I like this conversation. I like where it's going. Dalai, do you agree?
I'm loving it. I'm just like, now anytime I'm out and somebody's like, hey, do you want to split the bill? I'm like, listen, Ankur and Vihaant said you earn more than me, so basically I don't have to pay.
You have all the male privilege in the world. Okay, don't kiss on the first date.
Don't kiss on the first date.
Yeah, this is a thing, especially
I think
in India. What are you talking about?
Please kiss whoever you want, do whatever you want. This is just live your life.
Excuse
But
me,
be
no
careful.
sex before marriage, okay? India.
Oh,
Yeah, what are you saying, Vihaant? Well, what do you say?
Holding hands only.
Yeah, okay. See, be careful of who you're with, because it's probably like a new person.
I was just gonna say it depends on who you're with. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the
But
vibe.
kissing is fun, man. Go for it. Why not?
But you know, Vihaant, sometimes you kiss on the first date and then they're like, never mind, it's too easy. And then you're like, oh, well, now you're not gonna ask me out again. So it's like mind game.
Yeah, it is, and that's terrible. Like, you should be able to kiss.
Can you imagine? Why is that? Like, what is that? You've asked me out, you want to kiss me, but now that I kissed you, you don't want to kiss me again.
The light
Should I record this and send it to a special someone?
Vihaant, shut up.
Okay.
That's actually really heartbreaking. I hate that would ever happen to you or anyone else. That's so frustrating. And I think that's part of the reason why there's so many mind games that both of our genders have to play. It's this little big game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
So true.
Absolutely. Don't talk about your exes or your dating profile.
Sorry,
Don't
do
talk
you
about
want
your
me to talk?
exes on your dating profile.
Don't talk about
That's
your
kind
exes
of-
or your dating profile. Like if you've met someone on Bumble and you're like, that other guy I matched with, he's also really cool.
That's pretty obvious. Unless, like, you want to make people jealous. And you're like, my ex has 7 houses and, like, is a lovely human being. And then you're like, okay, I can't compete ever. So what's the point? It's a moot point. I don't know why anyone would do that.
I'm
No,
just
no,
saying,
go
you
ahead.
would be surprised at how many people talk about their exes on the first date.
They just want closure. What they really want is to talk to their ex. But they can't. So they're
You're
talking
so
to random
right.
strangers instead.
Parul, you and I were on the same level. You just said that and I was like, you know what, you're so right. People do talk about their exes.
We'll connect off camera and become besties. Ankur, did you talk about your ex on your first date?
No. Well, actually, it's funny you say that. In my past, a long time ago, I did have a situation where I had met my next partner before I had gotten out of my other relationship. So yeah, I did. I didn't know I was going to fall madly in love with this other person, but yeah, I probably did. God.
So you were just talking about a girlfriend at the time.
I was just, she wasn't an ex. No, I was talking about my girlfriend at the time. Thanks, Vihaant. Thank you. Yes.
Ankur doesn't do that shit. He's too sophisticated.
He's too sophisticated. Lastly, men and women can't be friends. एक लड़का और लड़की के बीच में दोस्ती नहीं हो.
Yeah, I think we need to separate all the genders across the world and just keep them in different rooms. Otherwise, it's chaos. You can't ever be friends. Can't have any. Dalai and I are not friends for that.
Yeah, actually,
reason.
Ankur, Vihaant and I, like, we don't communicate outside of work. We just can't. It's just too much tension.
Or we do all the time. I think that they can definitely be friends. That's silly. That's ridiculous. But I will say that there is something to be said about, sometimes when something seems completely platonic, there might be an undercurrent of sexual tension there. And a lot of people don't like to admit that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, more times than not, there is that current. And I only know that because when we work on acting scenes, right, when we're performing, that's always something that's a question in our mind when we're asking our character, does my character find this person attractive?
Yeah.
That makes a difference, right? Sometimes we make friends based off of how attractive someone is, even if we don't have any intention of pursuing them.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's actually true. You know, it's not that men and women can't be friends, but I think that kind of probably comes from the fact that if you are attracted to men as a woman and vice versa, there is just that thing in the back of your head where you meet somebody and like there's that quick word that happens where you're just like looking at them and you're like, oh, would I? And it's just like a random
Would
thing
I?
happen.
The once over.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are lovely people, and I hope we get to do this again. Good luck for the show.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Paru.
Thank you so much.